Hi, my name is Asher, and I want to show you today how you can work on your bar chords. So bar chords are probably one of the biggest things that guitarists have trouble with across the board, and it can be a really difficult technique to master. So it's important that, just like other techniques that we recognize, we just need to practice it and kind of build up that skill. It's not something that's going to come very easily. Now, one of the biggest problems with learning bar chords is often the first one that we go to learn is either like an F major or a B minor, so something where the bar is on the first or second fret. So we're dealing with higher tension on the lower frets, so I like to start learning these by working somewhere more in the middle of the fretboard. So you can do this anywhere on the guitar, but I'd suggest starting further up, maybe the 5th or the 7th fret. And then we also want to start by building the bar up rather than going straight to a 6-string bar. So simply one string at a time. You could go to the 7th fret, 1st string, and of course that's just one note, but we want to check that that's ringing clearly. So I'm just pressing down on the 7th fret. Okay, so then I just want to add one string at a time and essentially build up that bar. So now for a 2-string bar, you want to press on the 1st and 2nd string and check that both notes are coming through clearly. You can pluck them one at a time to check. And basically that's the process. We can add the 3rd string, and then the 4th, and so on. Up to all the way to all 6. Now, if you find that you're still having trouble getting certain strings to come through, there's a few things you can do to try and troubleshoot this. So the first thing is, when we're putting down the bar, we want to make sure we're not just using like the back side of the finger, essentially with the finger laying flat. That is going to kind of give us inconsistent pressure because our finger, right, has divots and things to it. It's not just a straight line like a bar. So I like to go to kind of the side of the finger. So if we're looking at it straight on, it's the side of it here, more where like the bone is. That's going to give you a more consistent amount of pressure, and it's going to create just a clearer sounding bar. So always think about kind of being on the side of the finger. So that's exaggerating it, but it really should feel like you're on the side of the finger. Another thing you can do to try and eliminate those inconsistencies of the human finger are go past the fingertip. So we can see the finger is kind of broken up into these 3 sections. If we are able to reach past the guitar with our fingertip where it's extending past, then we're really just using these 2 joints. So that, again, it's going to give us more consistent pressure. We can also get higher pressure with those 2 than with just the fingertip. So if at all possible, think about reaching past. So you can see my fingertip is kind of extending past the guitar here, and I'm getting a clear sound, and it's because I'm relying on the side of the finger and mostly these 2 joints. So those are some things to think about. We also want to make sure that the thumb is directly opposite the finger to help us squeeze. Now this can be really tiring for the hand, so I would suggest, if you're experiencing any pain, just like put it down. This is something just to practice a few minutes at a time, but those are just some ideas to get started. So, you know, going past the fingertip, playing on the side of the finger, starting in the middle of the fretboard. And as you get more comfortable with this, if you can get all 6 strings on the 7th fret, say, then try moving it back 1 fret at a time. So essentially you're just adding the difficulty on, going all the way back until you can eventually do it on the 1st fret. So I hope this helps.